Okay, welcome to this run through of the Paperclip practical assessment, and it's comprising of 3 parts. You've got to plan it, you've got to make sure your plan's been accepted, and then you've got to conduct the experiment. I need to explain how you're going to do that at home. So firstly, planning. The idea is that you are going to conduct an experiment that looks at the time it takes for a chain of paper clips to swing backwards and forwards. So it's the period of oscillation of some paper clips. You're going to need to read this sheet carefully. You can download it as a PDF or as a Word document from Goal on the assignment. One thing to note, absolutely everything from this, if it's not readable, we're just going to ignore it because there's going to be so much work, and we are going to be able to need to check exactly what you've written. This is not an assessment that we can sort of go, okay, we can sort of see the right answer and the workings look roughly right. It's got to be clear. You're also going to have to draw a diagram. If you need to draw it bigger than the little box we've given you, that's fine, because of course you're going to scan it at the end. So it needs to be neat. Do you know what, if you wanted to create it on the computer, you can do that. That'll take you forever. But as long as it's with labels, that's fine. The main part of this task is obviously you're going to answer these questions, but the main part of the task is to plan an experiment. If you want to type this, I completely understand, but it's got to be clear, logical steps where you say what you're going to do, what equipment you're going to use from our list that's provided, what steps you're going to take, what measurements you're going to take, how you're going to make those measurements, include everything. And then crucially, by the deadline, you've got to submit it to the Paperclip's planning task. Once you've done that, that's fine. You've only got a few days to turn this around, because we are planning to use this in assessment if it works well. So once you've done that, we will give you some feedback either directly on your work, or possibly we will just give you a model, a model plan for you to use, so you've got something that will work for the real one. Okay. Some groups, it might be unfeasible for us to turn it around in the time. We're trying to sort of keep it at a tight time so it's a valid assessment, you're not just copying each other, but we're also trying to have it that you would use your plan. So you've planned it and you've got some feedback, or you've got a model plan to work to. You've now got to conduct the experiment. So there's another worksheet on another assignment which you'll need to download and use. As you can see, there's not a lot to it. You're basically going to draw a big old table. You're going to use a piece of graph paper. We've given you a template for you to print your own graph paper if you want. And you are going to follow your plan and actually take some measurements. However, you're probably thinking that, let's skip ahead, sorry. You're probably thinking, how on earth am I going to actually do this? Well, we've given you some videos, and these videos are a setup of the paper clips swinging backwards and forwards. So you can count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc, etc, etc. Okay, wait. That's the rest of my exciting channel. A link to the playlist of all these videos is available on the assignment, so you'll be able to click on it. It's not actually on the rest of them are not actually on my YouTube channel. We're putting them on eStream, and I know they're sideways. I don't know why eStream put them sideways, but they've rotated them around the wrong way. But it doesn't affect how you can count them, and effectively you are going to take measurements. Mrs. Lancaster has been kind enough to put a ridiculous number of videos on. It's up to you to choose how many videos you use, which ones you use, and whether you repeat them. This is totally up to you. So, in the live lesson, you'll be there and we want you to do it then, so if something goes wrong with the videos or if something doesn't make sense, you can ask us. Because in a normal practical, we expect things won't quite work. Or if you're a bit unsure about the table, okay, it's supposed to be an assessed work, but if you're saying, oh, I can't fit the table onto my page, we'll say, we'll turn the page over and do it separately. You can always take a photo of the back of it. You get the idea. But crucially, at the end of it, even though it's in a live lesson, you are going to upload the worksheet. Okay? Oops. And you're going to upload it ideally as a single file alongside a graph. Got to make sure that graph is nice and clear before you upload it, because again, we will mark what we can see. So, you planned it. You got your feedback or read the exemplar. You conducted it in the lesson. You've now submitted it, and hopefully we will have something that gives a really good view of how well you're able to plan and analyse experimental data. If this works well, we will use this as part of your CPAC assessment for your actual A-level, because we've designed this experiment to tick lots of the criteria for that, as well as helping us understand your progress in the first year for us to create your annual review grade. I want to reassure you, if it does go completely wrong, you will have other opportunities to gain CPAC criteria data for the planning and the analysing of data. There's lots and lots of opportunities for that. Also, if it goes completely wrong, then of course we will we're not going to completely downgrade your ARC grade because of one practical assessment. The same as all the rest of it. We apply it sensibly. But hopefully you found that useful. That's what's going to happen. Make sure you read all of the instructions.